Hey, good morning. It's Friday morning. Sounds like it's Saturday night. It's Everybody always tries to wait till the weekend. Especially if you're working. It's You always work for Friday. So welcome to this is Lucky Dog Coffee Chat. I'm Bob, and Sue's having it off the site here. Say good morning, Sue.
Good morning.
Oh, hey Google. Good morning.
Good morning, Lucky Dog. The time is 8 a.m.
Hey, there's
Currently in
John.
the land it's 62 and partly cloudy. Today there will be showers with a forecasted high of 75 and a low of 65. Have a good one.
All right, it's gonna be nice, a little cooler. It was warm yesterday. Good morning, John. How's everything going? Good morning, Ron. Good to see everybody coming aboard this morning. Um, it's I think it's gonna be nice out, but they called it rain, but it's not a cloud in the sky right now. But you know they tend to do that. The weather people, they'll say it, and if you go by them and you say home, and it's like it never does rain. Even tomorrow they're calling for rain. But I don't think it's going to rain, and it's a slight chance. The way Florida weather works, if um, you might just have a passing shower, and it goes right on by. Hey Google, tell us a joke.
How did the frog burn its tongue? It tried to eat a firefly.
Never want to eat a firefly
On purpose.
on purpose. I mean that can mess you up. So, anybody has any thing you want to talk about or something? Leave it in the chat box. We'll talk about anything. We tend to mainly get on to camping, road trekking, and RC. We've been talking about a lot lately, but we'll talk about anything. Yesterday I said we'll talk about your uncle's hangnail on his left toe if you want. So we're pretty open, whatever.
And I said,
And Sue goes,
ooh.
ooh. But I just want to say we can talk about anything we want on it. And hey, yesterday, my brother Ron, he's on there. Hey, John, if you see Ron on here, that's my brother. So just in case you wonder, we kind of talk like we know each other because we do. Um, Yesterday, Ron said he was going to go camping. He's going to take his camper out. I don't remember. Did he say this weekend?
I'm not sure. Next weekend, I think.
Oh, next weekend. Okay. And he
I'm
said
not
he
sure.
ordered his expert. Cool. So he got. I know my other friend got his expert back, and the expert is a little RC plane that we fly. They're pretty easy to fly, and John says here, he says my got my first propane fill up yesterday, $23. Learned about the spit valve, and yeah, that spit valve will start spitting. You're only supposed to fill those like 80% full, and that's how they know when they're full. And talk about your propane. I'll tell you a little incident I had with my propane. Um, if you When you open next weekend, Ron's going camping. When you open up your propane valve, we had an incident. We had a tire blowout, and it wiped out the propane lines, and I fixed all that. And after I filled it, I couldn't get propane to come to my stove and all the other propane things. Uh, and what was happening on when you open that valve up, I know at least on a Roadtrek, well, at least my Roadtrek, if you open that valve real fast, they have a little flapper valve in your propane, and what that's for, if the end of it gets knocked off or something, it opens up. This flapper valve, if you get a rush of gas, closes, shutting your propane off. And by shutting the propane off, then it's supposed to, eliminate disasters or problems on it. So and I didn't know about this and I was having trouble, couldn't get the turn on the valve, and I just flip it open fast, and I couldn't get no propane. Somebody I did some search said that try open it very slowly, and I did this. I mean, real slow. I opened it, and opened it up, and it worked. So just a little propane hint. I don't know if it works on tanks or other like the portable tanks, or just on the tank mounted, frame mounted ones. But if you ever have a problem with your propane, try opening your valve real slowly, and it worked for me. So just maybe a little tip can
Is
help
that like a
anyone
safety
else.
valve?
It's like a safety valve, just so that you know like ours really, I don't know, I can't say it worked because when the tire blew out, it knocked the valves. We had propane just hissing. It was scary, alongside a road. So, anyways, that's just a little thought I happened to, a little experience. That's the nice thing about groups and things. You can get little tips. You can learn things from each other on it. So anyways, Ron was talking about taking his RC car camping with him. And I've had this, if you've heard me talk, I fly FPV, which is first person view, got a little camera on your airplanes. And I kept thinking it'd be fun to put a camera on a little car. And you could fly it, or you drive it around. And so yesterday I went out here and I got this little RC car. It's called a Roadtrek T-Tron, and if you notice here on the front I mounted a little camera. This is the same little cameras you use on the little tiny whoop quads and stuff, and I thought this will be fun to fly around with my goggles, so you're not even looking at the truck, and the chase the dogs around. Well, I got a little clip here. Let's see if that'll come up. This clip didn't come out real good. It was kind of hashy. Usually it's better than that, but I found out my little poodle, as you can see there in the clip, was fun to chase around. So I was having a blast with this yesterday. You can see her. I was coming up on her, and she's jumping around in that. So this was fun. So this is my next new fun thing. Sue says you can see the clip.
I can,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, good. So, cause I've never done a clip like this before. I just didn't know if it was going to work or not. So this is my next new. I'm just a kid. I never have grown up, and anything to just have fun with. That's what I like to do on it. So, anyways, I have a little DVR that I can record when I'm doing something on it. So this is what I'm doing now, is running around the house. I took this out in the yard, and it works good in the yard, but it's kind of shaky because the ground's so rough. On the pavement it was better. I went up the road, but I was afraid maybe a car would run over my little truck.
It was hysterical, him chasing the dog around.
And she was having fun with it.
She's barking at it.
She was, and then I would stop and she'd look for it, she'd go hunting for it, and then I'd stand still for a while, and then all of a sudden I'd take off, and there's she would go running. See how she's stopping right there, and she's waiting on it. She's barking at it. I think right here is what I did. I just kind of stopped for a while to see what she would do, and so I was having a blast. I thought I would share that with everyone this morning. My little tease the dog clip on it. So I just love to play around with stuff like that. So anyways, I could take the clip off there. We should maybe put that up on Facebook or something.
Chase mine and try to hit the tree.
And every dog acts a little different with things like that. Some of them like it and will have play with it, and other ones are scared of it. Now Abby, my Sheltie, she's just kind of scared of it, So
she tries to get away.
She tries to get away. She'll hide. So I don't really chase her. But now Cassie, on the other hand, she's the adventurous one. She likes to play and have fun. And I was watching a video yesterday of one guy. I guess that was Rusty. Rusty, I forget.
78609.
78609. I watch him all the time. He actually lives in a little camper, but he's been on a trek. He has a little spot. He's his home base, but he's been traveling around New Mexico, and he was commenting about he's at this campground. Okay, John. Hey, I'm glad you come back. Glad to see you come on there. Always enjoy when you stop by. Enjoy your Friday and enjoy your weekend. So anyways, this Rusty, he was at a campground, and he was there was nobody out. He was walking around, and there was nobody out doing nothing outside. And then so he got on the spiel about what do these people do. They come camping, they sit in there, watch television, and so came up thing is about. I think, well, what does most people do when they go camping? I think everybody does little different things. You do whatever you enjoy, Years ago, I had a camper at a campground, and I'd do it just to get away. Ron says, I think I need a new keyboard. It misses letters at times. Yeah, they'll do that. I've had a keyboard did that once. So, I'd get away and go over and camp. A lot of times I'd sit and watch TV. Sometimes I'd fish. Sometimes you do whatever you want to do, And this other guy, he's not a big TV watcher. So I like to watch TV myself, I enjoy watching shows and that. Oh, there's Denny. Hi, Denny. How you doing this morning? And Denny's an RVer. He lives in his RV. He has one here in Florida and one in Ohio. So Denny's still enjoying the.
Tell 'em who it is.
Yeah, Denny is Sue's brother. So hey, look, I've got my brother and Sue's got her brother here. So this is the brothers.
We are family.
So yeah, Denny's. I don't know how much longer he's going to stay here, but it's still cold. It was snow up in Ohio yesterday, and so I don't know how long Denny's going to stay. I'd stay here. Looks like maybe till July. You might get a little warmer there in July on it. So this weather has been crazy on it. So anyways, I was talking about what you do when you camp and what you do whatever you want to do.
Yes, Denny, what do you do?
What does Denny do?
Camping.
Yeah, well, Denny's camping all the time. It's like, actually, this is his home. I don't know if we consider it like camping. After a while, it's no longer camping. It's your home. It. So that was somebody had talked about that. Well, that Rusty had talked about that. What he was kind of couldn't figure out why people weren't out. I don't think people are out as much as they used to be. Used to go camping and people all were out and talking and doing stuff, but I think things have changed. I don't know if it's good. Probably not. Even neighbors don't. My neighbors. I've yet to meet the neighbors on the one side.
With the dogs.
They got the dogs yipping on it, and they act like they go hide. I think they hide because they know they irritate people because their dogs are obnoxious and they don't make them quit barking and all that. So, hey, I don't know if Denny got to see my thing. If he came on later, I'm going to put that back up while we're talking here. I'm going to leave that run a little bit. This is my view with the RC truck chasing the dog around the house. So it's and this is a truck. I don't know if Denny got on early enough to see my little RC truck. So that's my new play toy. I put the goggles on and drive it and chase the dog around the house. So I'm gonna let that clip run for a while. I thought it was kind of funny on it. So another thing I was talking about is a lot of people will camper windows. So one guy, but he does stealth camping. He didn't want any windows in his camper. Personally, I like windows opened up so I can see out. I feel claustrophobic if my windows aren't open or wouldn't have any windows on it, but it makes it hotter. A lot of them will put this, they call that solar tax or sulfur. It's that silver stuff. They'll make panels and put it over their windows to keep out the heat and stuff. And I can see that because those campers get hot. Ours here in Florida in the middle of summer when it's in the mid 90s, it takes a bit to get it cooled down and keep it cool. You feel like you get in the cool. If you get out, you want to jump out and get right back in. Ron says, I think they make FPV. They do. I was talking. I went down to the hobby shop yesterday, and a friend of mine owns a hobby shop. We flew together, and I was talking to him about it. He goes, yeah, they're starting to go to that a lot, but some of the issues is the bounce with the camera, and the on smooth pavement it's not bad. I ran it out across the yard, went flying, but it's pretty bouncy. And he said there's a gimbal that you can put on. A gimbal is like, I use a gimbal on my one phone, Smooth it's called. But to cut that, a drone has a gimbal. Whenever it's moving up and down, it keeps the picture straight. But I think it'd be fun to race, have a dirt track and race with, you're all racing with goggles instead of racing by watching it. You're inside the car racing on it. So I think that'd be a lot of fun to do that. And Craig, he has High Fly Hobbies here in Daytona Beach, and so if you're in the Daytona Beach area there, support Craig. Craig, he flies with it. We have Daytona Radio Control Club, and he comes out and flies with us and that. So has a nice little hobby shop there. Another subject I was looking at here is camping on a motorcycle, and I've done that in the past. I used to do a pump tent, but I had a Goldwing Interstate, and so it was a big motorcycle. So I built one time a little pop-up camper. Got one of these little utility, what do I call it? That's a utility trailer, and had post welded on it. And I used aluminum around the sides of it and made a little pop-up camper out of it. And it was pretty cool. You could tow it down the road with the motorcycle, and it would pop open, and then you could, you wasn't sleeping on the ground. You know, it had a full bed, and you could take it apart and make a little table in this middle of it. So it's pretty cool. I've only used it a couple times, and I sold it. I don't know why. I don't guess I like to tow it. You know, I don't like towing things, so that could have been it. But Ron said we did that with our first camper. We took the ones for the windshield and cut them to fit. And yeah, it does. And he says, enjoy the motorcycles in Florida and warmth and snow. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's nice down here. You can ride your motorcycle year round. You know, I'm going to take this little video back off again here. But yeah, you can ride your motorcycle year round. Although we haven't been riding much. I don't know. I get any more of the way that people drive crazy. I hate to even get out on the road with a car and even the motorcycle. So we haven't been riding too much lately, and it's just crazy people driving is a lot of it, you know. So hey, I want to go off. Me and Sue, I was never good about spelling English. That was my worst subject. In fact, I was going to quit school over spelling when I forget if it was 10th grade, probably 10th grade. You know, I went like 6 weeks and I got straight F's in math and spelling, or not math, I did good math, but in English and spelling and that. And I was like, you know, I'm wasting my time here in school. I'm going to quit. I may as well go out here and get a full-time job, make more money. And so, I don't know, yesterday somehow we brought up verbs and nouns. All right, now Sue knows all. She understands it. I understand it, but it's stupid. You know, a verb is an action word or doing something. A noun is a thing. So, you know, I guess a pin is a noun. That's a thing. I don't know what makes a difference, but that's what they say. It's a thing.
And if you write with it,
if you write it, that's a verb.
Because you're doing something, you're writing something.
So I said shit. Well, now is shit a verb or a noun? Now, if you're doing it, it's a verb. If you step in it and you see it there, it's a noun. Well, what the hell is that? You know? And what makes a difference if shit is a verb or a noun? I guess if you're sitting on the pot, then it becomes a verb.
If you're doing it.
If you're doing it.
It's
But what the hell does it matter? You know? Ron says, I rode in Ohio when the snow was flying. Oh, I've done that too. I have rode in the snow. It's crazy. I'll tell you a story about it. Anyway, so I want to go back to our verb and noun thing. I hate English. I think it's stupid. And they try to, you know, you didn't write that properly. Who really cares? You know? But we was talking about, so next time you see a turd, piece of shit on if it's laying there on the ground, that's a noun, you know. So, but if you go in the bathroom, now you're doing a verb. So,
if you can add ing to the word, that's a verb. That's a thing. You're doing something.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my cut. You know, that's one of my pet peeves. Spelling, it doesn't matter how it's spelled. You know, if I can understand it, fine. Who cares that it's spelled wrong? If I pronounce something wrong, that's not proper English. Who gives a crap? Who gives a shit? And at that point, if you don't give it, what is it that then? Who gives a shit?
That's an adjective.
That's an adjective. See, now it's all off in something different, you know? It's plain.
You feel like shit.
Feel like shit. It's all stupidity is all it is. So I thought I'd go off on that a little bit today. We was having fun with it yesterday, so think about it next time you go to the bathroom. Hey, you know, back to motorcycles, riding in the snow. I think yesterday I talked about this. I think it was a 74 Mustang. That was the year that Mustangs were a piece of crap, and they were a little four-cylinder, and I don't know what they were trying to do with it. But that car I pulled the camper, and transmission went out, and I had it fixed a couple times and it always went out, and half the time that thing would not start. If it even looked like it was going to snow or rain, it wouldn't start. And I was working out at stalls that we did. I was a welder out there. I hated that place, but it there was times I went out, my car would not start, and I could not get to work, and I'd miss a day of work. Well, they was starting to get on me. I mean, I normally don't miss work, but the car didn't start. I couldn't get there, and so one morning it was 15 below zero. This is up in godforsaken Ohio. You see how much I love Ohio. And it wouldn't start, and I had a 350 Yamaha. It was a 2-cycle, and it's like, I wonder if that thing will start, you know. And I went out there and I kicked it twice, and ring, it started right up. All right, heading to work, you know. Put heavy coat on. I even had gloves and all that on. I went down the road. Bet I didn't go a quarter mile. I couldn't even move my hands. It was so daggone cold. I turned around, went and put it back in the shed, called in work off, and luckily I didn't get fired on it. But talk about riding motorcycles in the cold weather. Yeah, we've got it made down in Florida. I mean, we can basically ride motorcycles year round. You know, it doesn't don't really have a time frame on motorcycles riding them. So called winter hell. Yeah, winter was hell in Ohio. It was definitely hell on, and I never did. I still don't like cold. When it gets down to 70s, I think it's too cold. All right, I think we're going to get out here. Tomorrow morning we'll probably be live streaming out at the flying field because it's Saturday, and I'm going to do some charging of batteries today, and go out and see if the weather's good. I think it's going to be good tomorrow. I don't trust these weather guys. They don't know what they're talking about. So we'll be on live for a little bit out at the flying field, streaming out there. And yeah, hell is in Michigan. I've been there. Yeah, there is a hell, Michigan, in there. Yeah, I forget. I don't know exactly where it's at, but I know there is a hell, Michigan. There's also an Intercourse, Pennsylvania, but who goes there? You know. So hey, everybody have a good Friday, good weekend. So we'll see everybody tomorrow morning. Again, if you want to leave a comment after the chat's over here, leave it in the comments section there, the comments, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. If you enjoy this, give us a thumbs up, and tell your friends. Get everybody on here, and let's build up our viewers, you know, so we can have a bigger chat going on. It's fun when people come by, and see Denny come by, and John come by, Ronnie come by, so it's always fun to see everybody here. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Hit subscribe to my channel if you want to be notified. Hit the little bell there, and it'll notify you when I have a new video or when I'm going live with the live stream. So we'll see everybody again tomorrow morning.